there's one. What? Oh, walleye. There we go. What did I get? I think it's another walleye. Yep, and it's a better walleye too. Ooh, it's a nice smallie. Well, this is probably the last trip for me, at least in my kayak. I took the day off work today because it's 80 degrees and it's October 21st. So that's not gonna happen much. So I thought I'd take one more trip down the Kishwaukee River, do a little smallmouth fishing, see what it's like. The water's super, super clear and super cold. So I'm not sure if we're gonna do any good today or not, but we're gonna hit those trestles, then we're gonna hit that little cove in there, then we're gonna float down the river and see what we find. Thought I'd give you guys a quick view of my setup here. It's just a Lifetime Tamarack Pro. Got an anchor trolley on the other side. I don't really believe in spending a ton of money, especially just for river fishing, so this is what I do my fishing in. See you on the water. Here we are. That cove that I talked about. We're gonna hit this first before we head up to the railroad tracks and see if there's anything kind of lurking around in here. I'll tell you one thing. I don't know if you guys can see it, but the water is so clear. I'm sitting in about 3 feet of water and I can see the bottom like I'm looking through a swimming pool. So the water's very cold. I can attest to that because I got my feet wet putting the kayak in, and it's ridiculous how cold the water is. So let's see if we can get a bite at all today. I'm probably gonna have to slow way down. Until I get on a pattern, you're gonna see me looking around a lot in the water. I'm looking for bait fish. I'm looking for any bass that might be kind of scurrying away as I come up. I want to see where they're at today. Whether they're hanging near the wood, hanging near the rocks and the shallows, on the drops. Once we figure out where they're at, then we can target them better. There's one. Oh, I missed it. You guys saw it, right, though? So, it's hard to develop a pattern off of one fish, but we are right on the bottom of this riffle. Let's just see if there's any other ones hanging around here. Oh, okay, there was one up there. But the pattern I'm finding might only be that the small fish are hanging underneath the riffles. So, 'cause sometimes the smaller smallmouth will school up, and sometimes you'll find them, but you're going to catch a whole bunch of like 6, 8, 9-inch fish, and that's not the kind of pattern I'm looking to get on. At the front edge of that piling there. Okay. Come on, try me again. Oh, that's not a fish. That is. There we go. It's about time I finally get one to stay on. All right, I don't care if it's a small one. I really don't care. That was some tough fishing to get him. There we go. There you go, little guy. Little 9-incher. Yes, it's about dang time I finally catch a dang fish. The heck, man. Come on. There's another fish. What in the heck is it? Oh, it's a little smallmouth. About the same size as the last one. Good grief. I said I was gonna find a pattern. I think I found the pattern. But they're all little. Jeez Louise. Well, let's just keep fishing this spot and hope that there's something bigger up in here. Well, there sure are a whole bunch of them little ones in here. Well, I think the size may be increased a tiny bit. There you go. Bye. Thank you. Come again. Couple of years. Well, I'm definitely got a pattern going on. So behind the riffles, any sort of pocket or pool that you can find seems to be where they're hanging out. But so far, they've all been small. There you go, little guy. All right, let's do that again, but with something bigger. Bigger! There's one. Nope, he missed. Swing and a miss. There we go, he came back for it. Did you hear that thing just rip and drag? Woo, man, it's a giant. Goodbye, little dude. Well, you would think I would get tired of catching these little boys, but it's kind of fun. At least it's almost every single cast. Surely there's got to be something a little better in here once I go through enough of these little ones, right? Still on? Yes, it's pretty bad when you don't even know. But you know what? That's a stocky little boy. Goodbye. Get right in there. Every fish in this little area has been almost exactly the same size, right here. 10 inches maybe? Maybe not even 10. But it has been one after another after another. So I don't know, do you lift a gift horse in the mouth and move because you're not catching the giant fish? Or do you catch a buttload of these small ones and have a fun time? What do you think that little eddy over there is like? Same thing? Maybe that's where the big ones are hanging out? Let's hit one more cast up in here and then we'll go over there and try it. The trick over there is going to be finding a place where my kayak will stay in one spot. Maybe they'll back by that log sticking up. vertically jigging around here under the kayak. There's one. Oh, he's a tiny bit better than we were catching on the other side. Not much though. Not really. About the same. Well, definitely we have a pattern going on. They're sitting in these slack waters next to the riffles. Oh, there's one. What? Oh, walleye! All right. Oh, he's gonna snap my line. Okay, let me get him in the net because his teeth are rubbing all over my line. There we go. I wouldn't normally net a walleye that size, but if I don't, I think he's gonna break my line. Man, I will vertical jig these riffles all day long if I can catch these walleyes. I do like a walleye dinner. He will go exactly 14. I'm keeping him. Oh, he's bleeding anyway. Yeah, I'll keep him. Alright. Just caught that 14-inch walleye, which is not by any means a walleye that you brag about. But it's a walleye that you can keep, which is what I'm doing. Plus, he was never gonna make it anyway. He not looking too good. So when I got him, what I was doing is I was just sitting here vertically jigging him, or jigging underneath the kayak. So maybe with any luck I'll vertically jig up a few more walleye. There we go. What did I get? I think it's another walleye. Yep, and it's a better walleye too. Oh, come on. Lengthen out my net a little bit here. There we go. Ooh, this might be an interesting afternoon. That's certainly a keeper. Okay. Okay, there, I got a good firm hold on him, I hope. Oh, he wasn't hooked well at all. So, got me another walleye. Gonna have a walleye dinner. Oh, let's do that again. That was fun. All right. Let's do that again. Little vertical jigging under the kayak. Well, that's how things can change. I came out to catch smallmouth and got on a walleye bite. This is not the most exciting kind of fishing, vertical jigging under the kayak, but it's yielded 2 walleye so far. And walleye are tasty. Makes me wonder if there are walleye in the other eddy across from me. I'm gonna go hit the other eddy over there and do the same thing I'm doing here. because I have a feeling that they're in this area all over the place. Let's go do it. Let's go do it. The water in this eddy has gotten milky. See that? What's with that? That's really, really weird. It was not like this a half hour ago. Ooh, it's a nice smallie. Well, I guess this vertical jigging might be the way to go right now, huh? I never use this technique. Wow. Wow, hello little big smallie. Well, that's fun. Need to do vertical jigging more often. It's probably a 15 or a 16. There we go. I don't keep smallmouth very often, but I would like to have a taste test between a walleye and a smallmouth. So if this thing's less than, say, 17 inches, and more than 14 inches, he's coming home with me. And he is. He's right about 16 inches. I don't know if you guys can see that. And I'm sorry, anybody who doesn't like keeping smallmouth, they're crazy, because as long as you don't go nuts with it, they're dang tasty fish. This day is turning out pretty good as far as catching dinner goes. I'm gonna just keep up this vertical jigging presentation. See what happens here. I've not done a ton of this type of fishing before, but it sure seems to be working out this afternoon. Well, I just had my wife bring me some ice in an insulated bag so that I can keep some of these walleye I'm catching. I got 2 on the stringer, and I'm keeping a smallmouth bass today. Don't judge me. I don't keep them very often, and maybe a couple times a year I keep a smallmouth, and I want to try a taste test and test it against the walleye. So we're gonna have a pretty good dinner. You can keep 6 walleye over 14 inches, and so I'm gonna see if I can get a little limit of walleye and maybe treat some family members to a nice dinner. All right. Pulled that little sucker right out of the water.